Yes, yes, yes! This game and this challenge was a nemesis of mine for so long, and I am so happy to say that it's finally done and I can present it to you. Hey guys, welcome back to the Nintendo Super Power Club Challenge channel. This is Bill, your host. Very excited to announce that we are looking at NES Open Tournament Golf, and this is card number 86 in the collection. So if you think back a little bit, we recently uploaded a challenge for Game Boy Golf, which was an obviously very difficult challenge, having to complete 15 out of 18 holes with a birdie. Not easy to do in the real world or electronically. This challenge, although not quite as tough as that, still presents a difficult challenge in its own right in match play, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. All that aside, the game is very fun, and I highly recommend giving it a shot. There are many different ways to enjoy it. But as for the challenge itself, let's whack right into it and see what we gotta do. You know, this challenge was kicking my ass for the longest time, and a big reason for it is because I didn't understand the language of how this challenge was written. Take a look here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The challenge says in match mode, and that's key here, match mode. Can you beat Luigi by not losing a single hole on Pro? Now that's key here. Take a good look at this, the language of how it's worded here. Not losing any holes. It does not specifically say that you have to win every hole. That's very important because you think about how golf is normally played in what is known as stroke play. Stroke play is typically your best score after 18 holes. That's how you win the game most of the time. In match play, which is in tournaments only, you're going to be playing face-to-face per hole. So for instance, if I shoot 3 strokes to finish the hole and the opponent does it in 4, I did it 1 less stroke, I win the hole. And that's what you got to do to get points here and to win this in match mode. Now the good thing is you don't have to win 18 consecutive holes. You can get a draw. It just says don't lose. And that's the important thing, understanding the language and the wording of the challenge. We're going to show you exactly how to do it, how to get past it, and with all the strategies, how you too can get through this as well. Sit back, relax, and watch NES Open Tournament Golf. Here we go. Alright, let's get this thing going here. So obviously you're going to go to match play. 1 player, all the usual stuff. Course doesn't really matter. I'm going with US course because I know it fairly well compared to the others. If you have a previous game, obviously override it. Here, you have a choice of computer opponents to pick. You have to pick Luigi for this one. And really, I don't know the difference between the other characters. Maybe Luigi's the toughest, who knows. Alright, now as far as the swing selection, club selection, it's pretty simple. Swing, go with medium. That's going to give you the best time in order to pick your speed. Slow is a little bit too slow. It'll affect your distance. Clubs, you have your basic clubs. You got your woods, 1 through 3. You got your irons, 2 all the way down through 9, with all the distances right down there. You got a couple of wedges, and then lastly, of course, you have the putter. Don't be an idiot and putt off of the tee. I've done that before, just for fun. Alright, and then last thing you have there is the English, as I like to call it. If you hit low, it will cause you to have backspin, which is good for the greens. Top spin is good for getting longer distance, which is what you want to do off of the tee most times. We're going to go with a high top spin. And then here you go with the swing. The further back you go is the power, and then closer to that little slash, I guess, is the closest accuracy you're going to get. Now here I hit right off to the fairway just a little bit. It's not terrible. It's good enough to play, so I'm going to keep this one here. And you're going to see the computer is going to do the exact same thing. Again, going back is the power. Coming back on the meter is the accuracy. So there we go. He's going to hit off, and he's going to hit right about in the same place. He was right in the middle of the fairway. And basically the way the game of golf works, if you're not familiar with it, is the person who is still furthest away will hit again. It's not a guaranteed you hit, I hit, you hit, I hit. It's always the person furthest away from the pin will hit their ball again. So that's the basic understanding of the controls here and the rules if you've never played the game of golf. As for this particular challenge, again, this is match play, and you have to win the hole by getting fewer strokes than Luigi on each hole. And you have to do it enough times to where he can't come back. So you don't necessarily have to win 18 holes. In fact, that's going to be almost impossible. So here you're going to see you're going to get both on the green, and then putting is where things can get really interesting. If you're great at putting, fantastic. If you're not, you're going to have a big problem with this challenge. It's very similar to Game Boy Golf. You're going to see the direction the arrows are pointing is where the hill is sloping downward here. So in this case, you're going to have to take note of the breaks, as we call it, and where the hole is going. It's actually pretty good graphics for 8-bit at the time with putting. gotta say. And just take note of it, and ooh, a little too far off to the side. Honestly, beyond that, the Game Boy Golf Challenge and this one are very, very similar in terms of controls and how the game plays. So if you understand Game Boy Golf, you probably get this one. So there we go, 1 up, 1 down. We actually won that hole, and we just got to do that enough more times to where Luigi cannot come back, and this challenge will be in the books. So here we go with hole number 2, and this one's a little bit trickier. As long as you get a nice, solid, full driver shot off the tee, you'll be able to get right onto the fairway here off to the right, and you shouldn't have a problem with any trees. And that's exactly what we're opting to do here. We're going to go all the way back with the driver, and we got a super shot, meaning as perfect as it could possibly be. And ooh, just slightly off missing the rough. You cannot ask for a better tee shot than that on this hole. Awesome job by us. Now, as you're going to see, the computer, they do the best that they can. And unfortunately for them, fortunately for us, sometimes they will have massive mistakes. You're going to see occasionally they might hit into the water or the sand traps. They might actually hit a tree. So it's not always a guarantee the computer is going to hit a super shot or the best shot possible. So just because you have a bad shot off the tee, which may happen from time to time, don't automatically give up and reset the game here. Just keep on going with it. You don't want to know how many times I had to reset this thing to get this challenge done. We're talking months to years possibly. And that wasn't good for the computer, obviously. He got a bad shot, but the thing is, with a drop, it puts him right outside of the lake. So he's going to keep that shot. Not like he has a choice, though. And then here we go. We're going to hit our second shot, I believe. And we got a decent little 8-iron pitch over the lake. Now, not the best area. I would have liked to have it a little bit more left. But it's on the green at least, and that's all you can really hope for, I suppose. And then we're going to see the computer hit again. He's already hitting 3 thanks to that penalty stroke he had in the water. He's going to go up, he's going to come down, and where's he going to land? It looks like he's going to go, ooh, that was a pretty decent shot for him. If he put some backspin on it, that would have been a great shot. And now we have 2 shots, 3 shots actually, to just get it in the hole, and that was unfortunate. Went a little bit too hard. But again, we're sitting pretty here. He's hitting 4-5 right now and just comes up short. We got nothing to worry about. This one's basically in the bag for us. Even if he taps that in, we can 2 to 3 putt our way to victory here. Now, unfortunately, what you're about to see here is a good example of making sure when you hit uphill, make sure that you hit with a lot of power, because if you don't, it's going to either roll back down or end up being short, and in a close hole, it could end up costing you. Luckily, we had a 2-stroke edge there, and it didn't matter much. We end up winning the hole, going up 2 here in this match against Luigi. And we move into hole number 3. This is a considerably longer hole, par 4. You can hit straight at it if you want to, but I would opt to go off to the right. If you know how to put a hook on the ball and hook it back around left, please go ahead and do that. If not, whatever. Now, I did manage to hook it, and unfortunately, it went right into the rough here. We were lucky enough that it went past the tree. If it was actually behind the tree, we would probably want to start the challenge over again. That was just very good, fortunate luck for us. Now let's see what Luigi ends up doing here. As he starts off, he does a much better shot than we do. Although he's still in the rough. I would much rather be in his position, though, than in mine. And from here, by the way, I got to say this. I'm opting to go with an iron here. It's probably not necessary for a wood regardless. But hitting with a iron out of the rough is a better option because you'll get more height out of the ball. If you've ever played golf, you understand that very well. Hitting with a wood is good for distance, typically in the fairway or the tee box. I wouldn't use it out of the rough, and certainly not in a sand trap. But that's enough about that. Looking at Luigi here, he is going to take his next shot, and let's see what he does. He does a nice little chip, and that should be on the green unless he... Whoa, that's a rare instance of the computer overshooting the green. It does happen sometimes. I have noticed, by the way, that the computer will typically hit a very similar shot to what you do, rather it's a good one or a bad one. I don't think that they'll hit the same club necessarily, but I have noticed they tend to hit very similar. Oh, look at that! That almost went in the hole. That would have been a nice one. But that should almost be enough to guarantee us the win in this hole here. Let's see what happens with this shot for Luigi. Yeah, if that had gone in, I can almost guarantee Luigi's not going to chip that one in. So basically, we're even right now. And remember, hitting even on a hole does not mean that you lose. You only lose the hole in the challenge if you hit with more strokes. So if we both go 4 and 4, it's a tie. The challenge continues here. And Luigi's going to hold that out with 5 strokes. That means we can 2-putt this from basically nowhere. And we'll be fine. We end up winning the hole there. So we go up 3 now. And that's a very good position to be in. You want to get as many wins and victories under your belt as you can in the early going, because these later holes will absolutely be more difficult. And oh, speaking of which, here's a tricky one. You got to pick the right hole. You got to pick the right club for this one. So take a look. You don't want to hit long on this hole. If you are going to go with a higher club, don't hit full power and put some backspin on it like I'm doing here. You want to draw it back. Do not take a risk of this ball going into the water, because that's a very quick way to lose the hole and put yourself in bad shape here. So in my case, the hole was, what, 154 to the pin, and I was hitting 160 with the iron. If you want to do that, be very, very careful. It's usually better to go short than long. Luigi, I think, is going to take a similar pattern, and ooh, that might go in the water, I think. Did it? Nope, very lucky. Not on the green, though, so he's going to have to waste another shot to chip on, and this should be another easy victory for us by virtue of us just getting onto the green. Unless he has a miracle chip, which, ooh, look at that. That got him pretty close within camera range of the pin there. So I may have to eat my words here. We're going to have to play very, very good. And we were actually on the fringe here. I don't think this was quite on the green. No, only 14 yards away. This can be a little duff shot. And, oh, did it go in? Wow, nice. We actually chipped that one in, and we won the hole. Wow, we won the hole by virtue of that chip in. So way to go, us. We are up 4 with a very, very nice lucky chip in here. Moving to the 5th hole, and we got what looks like a little Yoshi fairway, or a dinosaur fairway. And if you can hit the ball clear up into the eye or the head path, that's exactly where you want to do it. And we're pretty close to a super shot here. Let's see, is that where we get it? Wow, with appropriate topspin, that's exactly where it goes. That was a 302-yard drive. Honestly, I don't think it's possible to hit a better shot than that with the wind in our favor as well. That's why it went over 300 yards. So a very beautiful shot for us. Let's see what Luigi can do. Very, very close. The only difference is that he happened to hook it, and even then it got lucky and came back onto the fairway here. What little 270-yard drive there. He's significantly behind, obviously. Now take a look here. You have water right behind the green, so you obviously don't want to overshoot this. I would rather go short and be into the sand trap than do what he just did and goes in the water. And now he's got a penalty stroke. He's going to be hitting 3 on his next shot, whereas we're hitting 2 at the top of the fairway. We're in really good position right now. So let's see what we do with this next shot. And we're going to be taking a little duff swing right here. And by duff, I mean full. And unfortunately, that was a bad shot. That went over the green, clear into the drink. Oh man, this is a case where I honestly considered restarting the challenge here. The only reason I didn't was because I'm even on strokes here. And I'm pretty close to confident that Luigi's not going to chip in. I think I can chip better than he can. And oh man, I'm going to have to work for this one. If I don't hold this out on the chip, I'm going to have to get it on the ensuing putt. So again, we're not in the worst of positions here, but we certainly need a very, very good chip. And let's see if we can do it. Very quick. Accuracy wasn't the greatest, but oh, look at this. Oh, a little bit more accuracy. We could have got a second chip in there. That would have been really nice. So even if we don't win this hole, which we can't, pretty sure we're going to tie it. We'll just do a little tap, tap, taparoo. And in we go, and we didn't win the hole, but we're still moving on. We're still dancing into hole number 5 or 6, I believe. Yep, here's hole number 6. So 400-yard par 4. Now, this one can be a little bit tricky. You can hit a driver over the lake, or excuse me, over the river. That's fine. What I tend to do here is just use a small iron for a setup shot here. You could do a 7, 8, maybe even a 6 iron, just to get it to the tip of the fairway near the river. That's probably a good place to do it. If you want to take a risk and drive it over, you can, but you got to be so careful to have the accuracy to not put it out of bounds or in the water here. So I'm opting to play it safe, and then I'll go for the home run ball on my second shot here. Luigi is opting to go for the driver with topspin, and let's see how that plays out for him. And there goes a very solid drive. It will get over, and he actually makes it onto the fairway. So different strategies, they both work. The second one that Luigi just did was a little bit more risky, obviously, but he is down significantly in this match, and he has to take those risks. Whether the computer is smart enough to realize that is another story. Here I go. That is about as beautiful and perfect of a second shot as you could possibly hit. That's going to go with topspin all the way under the green, and it's rolling down close to the pin. Man, you couldn't have hit that much better. So that's almost guaranteed to be a hole in for a third shot if we're good with our putting, which I think we are. And let's see what Luigi can do here on his next shot. Not bad. And that's going to be very close. And wow, that might even be better than our shot with the way that the green is breaking. It's going to come back a little bit. I think he did put some backspin on it. And oh, happens to pull his putt, which is great for us. So now we can just 2-putt to victory here. And oh, make it a 3-putt. He misses that one too. This is where I would just throw my club against the wall or into the lake or something. All right, we can just do a little taparoo and we win the hole outright. So we are now 4 up going into the next hole here, hole number 6, I believe. Oh, hole 7, excuse me. This is a par 3. You can opt to shoot right at it or you can play it safe. Because this is a par 3, I'm just going to shoot straight at the hole. Just take account of the wind and the direction and things like that. You clearly don't need a driver on a par 3, so just pick the appropriate club. I think we did an 8-iron here. Yes, we did. As long as you hit straight at it with accuracy, you should be okay. And unfortunately, we're a little bit off to the left, which makes us vulnerable to Luigi here. This is not where you want to be on a short par 3 here. Saw the wind is blowing left, so let's see if Luigi's aware of that. And he ends up hitting that straight. Very nice, compensating for the wind. And with a little bit of backspin, it comes back a little bit. So we're in trouble right now. Luigi is on the green. We're going to have to shoot this thing on. I don't use backspin here. I probably should have. But let's see how I end up doing this. Very quick duff. And oh, wow. That's like 3 holes in a row. 3 out of 4 holes possibly where I had very close to hole-in chips. And Luigi tries to shoot up the hole there, up the hill. Nearly gets it in. Fortunately for us, he didn't. We go in as well. We don't win the hole, but we're all even and we're still moving on. This challenge is all moving on. Hole number 8 as we continue on here. And obviously, by the way, depending on how your game plays out, you're not going to see a full 18 holes, so you may have to play some of those later holes for yourself if you find yourself in a tight, even match. Moving on to this hole, we're going to be shooting off to the right. You definitely want to use a full driver here. Hit this as hard as you possibly can. Obviously, don't hit it into the trees. Those are considered out of bounds. They are not rough shots. If they go out of bounds at any time, it is a penalty stroke, and you will have to drop outside of the woods. So be very, very cautious not to do that. Now, Luigi's very close, and I don't think he was actually on the fairway at that time, so he's going to have to shoot off the rough, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And we're going to shoot again. We have, what do we got? I don't think we can quite make the green from here. Plus, we have 2 streams up ahead, looking like 3 rivers in Pittsburgh. I wouldn't quite go for the pin here, so we're going to opt to hit it a little bit short and hope we can just stop it right on the fairway. Ooh, that was a little too hard. Lucky for us, it didn't go in the drink there. Let's see how Luigi hits this. He's going about 310 to the hole. Yeah, you don't want to shoot a driver on this one, so he's going to do it anyway. I don't know that I agree with this. Oh, and he barely got it over. And the reason for that, he was in the rough. If he had shot an iron, he would have been in a much better position there. Shooting a driver off the rough is not going to get you the height you want on the ball. And when you're trying to clear an obstacle, like a tree or a lake or a stream, that's not the correct hole or the club to use, rather. Much better chip, though. And with backspin, it's going to draw it much closer to the hole here. All right, we're going to pick up with our 3rd shot with a nice little chip. This is going to depend. This is going to see if we can actually win this hole or even it out. I feel pretty good here since we're already 1 stroke up. Good solid chip straight ahead. And that's where we want. Oh, a little bit of backspin would have been nice, but now we got to do a long putt on here. Putting over the fringe, and that was not too bad given what we had to deal with here. And we're actually, oh, good thing he missed that or we would have lost the hole. And he's got a little bit of golf left in that shot there. He's shooting with some break. He does get it in, but we're in good position. We just have to do a little taparoo, and in we go, and on we go to the next hole. Still even at 4. Haven't lost a hole yet as we move into hole 9, the last hole on the first half of the course. We got a lot of patches of fairway here, so it really doesn't matter what patch of fairway it ends up in. Really, I don't even care if it ends up in the rough in between the patches of fairway. Just keep it in the middle. Don't throw it into the trees, and certainly don't hook it into the lake. Don't be stupid. So we end up getting it right where we want it to be, and that sets us up for a good second shot here, and I'm sure the computer will do the same thing. All right, we're going to continue on here. Let's see what Luigi does for his first shot off the tee here on this next hole, and it's about as good as you can hope for. Honestly, keeping it toward the middle inside of fairway here, and it's going to stick right on there. Might have gone off onto the rough. Either way, not too hard. Just keep it out of the trees and the water, and any shot will be fine here. Let's see. We're going to opt for a 150-yarder because, honestly, doing it any longer, you risk going into the sand. I'm going to put some backspin on this. Hope I can draw it back into the hole here. But let's see what I can do. Honestly, I think it was one club off. Nah, we'll keep what we got here. All right, let's give it a good, nice, hard shot. That's about as good as you can hope for here. Let's see if the backspin actually paid off. And unfortunately, it did not quite get where we wanted it to. Had it hit the green, it would have rolled toward the pin. Actually, it wouldn't have. So maybe it's a good thing that it hit the rough because the backspin would have taken it off the green. Either way, not ideal. And Luigi's going to hit his second shot. Wow, that's going right for the pin, and we're lucky here. So we're both going to be hitting 3 now, and he has a shot to hole out and put us in a world of hurt and make us restart the challenge. Let's see what exactly happened here on this third hole. Why is this video continuing? Well, it must be for a good reason. So let's see what happens. We got a little duff chip, and unfortunately we are on the wrong side of the break here. And oh boy, we're lucky Luigi missed that. Very, very lucky. And for our fourth shot, we can basically just duff this right in here. Thankfully, there wasn't too much golf in that. Whether we win or we tie, doesn't matter. We're moving on. It would have been nice if it was a win, because that puts us one hole closer to ending this challenge. But alas, we continue on. We're now on to hole number 10. And this is a nice little par 3 duffer, I believe. Yep, you just have to hit straight at it. A 2-iron, in this case, should be enough. You could opt to go with a wood if you want to. Either way is fine. You got to be careful here because there is a patch of trees and shrubs that are out of bounds. You don't want to hit it into the out of bounds area. And we're going to hit, oh wow, it actually did go in the out of bounds area, but it popped out. So we got very lucky there. You don't want to be getting extra strokes on a short par 3. That's almost a recipe for sure disaster. But we're going to continue on because we didn't get a penalty stroke. And looks like Luigi is going to go, wow, beautiful shot. He had a chance to actually hole in one that if it was a little bit closer on accuracy. But let's see what we can do. We need to actually get close to the hole and maybe get a chip in like we did earlier. That would be nice. Or get it extremely close to the pin. We're going in. Oh, not a good shot. Not good. It's actually off the green here. We're hitting 3 now. And what exactly is going to happen? Nice little duff, and oh, another chip in. Beautiful. That's the only way we could have possibly hoped for it. And we are lucky. We needed that because had we missed it, we almost assuredly would have had to restart this. So that little chip in saves us, allows us to continue. We didn't win the hole, but we didn't lose it either. So on we go. Thank you, beautiful chipping. All right, hole number 11. We got a little bit of distance here. Wind is blowing off to the left into the out of bounds area. So you want to hit right, obviously. Do not hook this shot. And let's see, that's about as good as you could hope for. It would have been nice to go a little bit more left and avoid the out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. We're on the fairway. And let's see what Luigi can possibly do here. If anything, he'll probably hit it very similarly. Again, you're going to notice I'm going with normal shot speed. I know I probably should have mentioned this a lot sooner in the video, but these shots are moving very, very quickly, and this game is moving very, very quickly. He has a super shot. He's probably going to outdrive me, and sure enough, he does. Yeah, definitely go with a normal speed. If you attempt to do it fast, you can get more distance, but of course, your accuracy is going to suffer, and in a match like this, you do not want to have accuracy go down the tubes, so play it safe. Go with normal. Heck, even sometimes you might even want to go for slow shot speed if it's a chip, although I'm opting to go for medium probably 95% of the time here. And right about here, we're going to opt for a medium iron, a little bit of top speed. Want to get some distance out of this. This could be a little risky play, but let's see if it pays off here. We're hoping to avoid the sand traps and draw it toward the hole, which is exactly what happens, and we're in the little gully ditch here. And thankfully, oh, Luigi played that terribly, and he's all the way down where we are. Let's see if we can hold this out or get close. We took it on the opposite end where he was, so neither one of us played that shot very well. And talk about bad putting. This is terrible here. Thankfully, we can do another one. Well, let's see what Luigi opts to do after we hold this out. Oh my goodness, putting is terrible on this hole right now. I do not like where we're at. Don't like where we're sitting. Just missed that one. Thankfully, that's only 4. And this is going to be a cup out. fifth shot here. Not a great hole, but thankfully, Luigi had an also terrible hole, and we ended up winning that one. So, as bad as that one played out for both of us, we end up winning the hole. So we're on to hole number 12, and ooh, look at that dog leg all around onto the right. So obviously, we're going to shoot far off to the left. Do not shoot it straight ahead. You will not clear the out of bounds areas, I promise you. So shoot it off left, even put a little bit of a hook on it if you want to, and I think we might have done that, and it worked in our favor possibly. So this is a hole that you definitely want to shoot off to the left and then shoot straight up, and then your third shot can go right at the pin here. There's really no way that you could possibly get on the green in 2 that I know of unless you're extremely aggressive and lucky, and we don't want to play that way in a challenge where we just simply need to win the hole. If it was stroke play or we were down significantly, I would consider changing my strategy a little bit, but that's not the case because we can't be down in a match here. Alright, our second shot for Luigi here. What's he going to do? He's going to hit it straight ahead, I believe. Sure enough, he does. Plays it safe, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Hopefully we can get a better lie than he does. And then the third shot will be where the magic happens. Hopefully we can have a nice little chip on or chip in. We've already done it twice, so clearly we know how to do it. And we've got quite a bit of distance here. We're going to go for a top speed driver shot, basically a tee shot on the fairway. And that was pretty good. A little bit of a slice on it, but that's okay, because look where it puts us. Right at the tip of the fairway. You couldn't possibly have it any better than that. So now, the ball is back in Mr. Luigi's court. Let's see what he does. Just going back and forth. And he's probably going to get on the green. The computer's had a pretty good stroke of luck doing that, and he does not do it here. So hopefully we can get on the green here and get one hole closer to winning this challenge. And that's exactly what we need to do right now. So we're going to opt to go with normal shot, normal speed, normal everything here. And let's see if this shot gets us onto the pin, or not on the pin, but onto the green here. And it looks like it's going to be pretty close. We're going to bounce off. What's going to happen here? Oh, that backspin was very, very nice. Otherwise, it probably would have rolled off. Now, we got a hard uphill putt here for this next shot, but thankfully we are on the green, whereas Luigi is off and having to chip on. So that was not the best chip he could have possibly hoped for, and he's on the far edge here with a very difficult breaking putt for his first one. We're going to go first, and hopefully shooting uphill with some power will get this in. Our putting has been okay lately, and that was actually a really good shot, even though it missed. Got us pretty close to the hole here. Almost assure you that we're going to beat him on this one. Ooh, good thing too. He's got a bad shot on this one. This is pretty much fait accompli, as I like to say. Just a little duff tap in, and we're going to win this hole. So we're going to see it's still moving on down. Not the best putt for either one of us. Just missing here again. Oh, he's hitting 7 right now. Yeah. This is basically a gimme here. So I guess the computer wants this challenge over and done with. So do we. The hole's over. We're 6 up. And right here you're going to notice it says next dormy hole. If you're not familiar with golf, this is a term I hadn't heard before, match play. Dormy hole basically means you are up by as many strokes as there are holes remaining. So essentially, if you win the next hole, you win the match. So it's basically win or go home right now. Win, lose, that's all we have to do here. Hit it straight. This is a straight hole, by the way, so no reason you shouldn't be able to win this particular hole. Very, very good one to go out on, assuming we can get it here. So good shot straight ahead. We're hoping that he totally screws up here and just gives it to us like he did on that last hole. Got a feeling he's probably going to be okay, though. It's a pretty straight shot, pretty straight hole, and sure enough it is. I do believe we managed to outdrive him here. Yes, we do, and he's a little off to the left, so he will be hitting twice. His second shot will probably be straight on, as will ours, and then it's just a matter of putting. Who's the better putter right now? We've clearly shown it to be us, so I think it's just a matter of time before we mark this challenge complete. Oh, that almost hit the pin right there, and then probably would have dropped down in. So lucky for us, that would have been bad, bad news, but we very much lucked out here. And we're going to continue on, put a little bit of backspin. Maybe not, maybe we'll go normal here. Yeah, this is about the right club to use here. So we're going to back it up, and let's see what we got. Not the greatest accuracy in the world. It's going to go a little off to the right. If we can keep it on the green, that would be nice. Yeah, not the best shot, but we're in much better position than Luigi is right now. So we are extremely close. 1, maybe 2 strokes away from capping this off and completing this challenge, which is, oh, wow, we dodged another bullet here. So we have one, maybe two more shots to hold this out. And not the best shot, but again, knowing he's probably going to cup out here, we have one shot to win this. One shot. And here we go right here. This will do it. Oh, yes, he just happened to miss it. So although we're not going to win the hole outright, Luigi cannot come back with that many holes left. So we have officially won this match by default. We are the winner. And challenge number 86 for NES Open Tournament Golf is now officially, finally in the books. Thank God. That one's in the rearview mirror. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me and watching this one. This one, I gotta say, was almost as tough as the Game Boy Golf. Looking ahead, what do we got next? Yeah, I know lemmings are still out there. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but very good chance you may be seeing them coming very soon. Have a good one, all.